Yo, it's about time I'm back. Yeah, no one's missed me because no one's watching. But I'm gonna pretend like I have an audience. Okay, so this is about Snoop Dogg. So my man Snoop, he's acting a bit strange. He forgets he's saying things, he says one thing and then he forgets he says it. So I was down with Snoop at one point, but he like he's bending over for Hollywood, man. So Snoop Dogg reps saying comments about addressing backlash over his criticism of LGBTQ representation are fake. Okay, that's a bit weird. So let's say I rewind it like a couple months back. He was saying like, oh, I was watching Buzz Lightyear and then there was a same-sex couple and I didn't have the answers for my grandson. Snoop Dogg G, as he talks like that. The rapper previously said that same-sex couples, including the 2022 Disney movie Lightyear, threw me off for a loop. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, yeah. A lot of people said that about the movie. That's why the movie was banned in several countries. That's why it kind of flopped. It was kind of a woke version of Buzz Lightyear. It's like, it wasn't really the Pixar. It was a Pixar movie, but it wasn't really the Toy Story Buzz Lightyear. It was a completely new Buzz Lightyear movie. And I'll be honest, I watched it and I thought, why did they add the same-sex couple? It just seemed really randomly thrown in. And I know that they were fighting for it to be in the movie, but it kind of like diminished some of its appeal in the movie, because there are certain countries that wasn't really feeling that in the movie, and that's where, I mean, it was gonna flop anyway because it never had the original voice actor in it, and it wasn't really the original Lightyear. They kind of had a different story behind it, but that's me talking about that anyway. So a rep for Snoop Dogg is saying that comments posted on Instagram responding to the backlash he received after he criticized LGBTQWXYZ representation in Disney 2022 animated Lightyear are fake. This is how the industry lies to us. We live in a world where Snoop Dogg, remember Snoop Dogg? If you grown up in the 90s, you remember Snoop Dogg. He is a gangster rapper. He was on death row. I think at one point he was on trial for murder. It was a big deal, man. They were banning his records. I remember it was on MTV. They were smashing his tapes on the floor. This is back in the days when they were tapes. And they're like, yo, man, you've been calling women hoes and all sorts. Now we live in a world where Snoop Dogg is practically family friendly. He's broken through the barrier. He's industry safe. I know it's crazy. When I was growing up, man, I would never have thought Snoop Dogg would be where he is now. He's literally a family friendly character. He even has his own cereal. And I think this is his own cartoon show on YouTube. It is crazy for Snoop Dogg to reach to this level. I mean, I like him. He's not a bad person, but it is it's such far removed from the gangster rap image that he was portraying in his early career. But Snoop. Dum 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 dum. Yeah, I know, that's crazy. That song's very popular. Someone claiming to be the rapper and hip hop icon recently wrote in the comments of a Hollywood Unlocked Instagram post, which featured T.S. Madison calling him out. I just caught off guard, and I had no answer for my grandson. Okay, that's a bit weird. So someone pretending to be Snoop wrote this. All my gay friends know what's up. Sound like Snoop's words. They've been calling me with love. My bad for not knowing the answers for this. 6-year-old, teach me how to learn. I'm not perfect, the person claiming to be Snoop added. What the hell? However, now his rep is saying those comments were not written by the rapper. It's unclear who is behind them. Last week, the Gin and Juice rapper shared on his It's Given post podcast, everyone has a podcast these days, that he was taken by surprise when he took his grandchild to see Pixar's spin-off, as it featured a montage of two women sharing a kiss and raising a child together. Oh, he did say it then. Why are you saying it's not him? He said this led to the whole bunch of questions from his grandchildren about same-sex couples that he said I don't have the answers for. They're like, she said, she had a baby with another woman? Snoop recorded on the podcast, which appeared to remove his comments on the matter from the YouTube episode. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie is like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with another woman? It dropped like a hot artist remembered thinking at the time, oh damn, I didn't come up with this. I need to figure a way to explain this. No, it's true. These things shouldn't be in children's movies. I don't know why they feel the need to put these. You go to a children's movie for escapism, not to be knocked over the head with real life problems. And then what happens when you see these things? You start getting real life problems because they start asking questions. You meant to take the children to escape from the real life and for them to enjoy it, not to come out and kids start asking these questions like, how did that happen? How did this happen? How did it happen? You know? And yeah, it definitely was Snoop, because look, it's crazy, man. So Snoop has a change of heart. Snoop has change of heart about same-sex couples. So you gotta wonder, was it you, Snoop, who said it in the comments, or was it not you? Because you seem to be moonwalking back on some of the the accusations that's been piled on you, man. He's like, it wasn't me that said that. No, he never said that. It wasn't Snoop. It was someone pretending to be Snoop. Then they removed him from the podcast. The whole element. So it was him. Snoop has a change of heart about same-sex couples after previously stirring up a controversy with comments on the topic over the summer. On Wednesday, October 7th, Snoop linked up with, whoa, what's that? I don't know. Snoop linked up with a gay and lesbian alliance against defamation for Spirit Day, an annually initiative to support LGBTQ youth. Uncle Snoop sat down with The Voice contestant Jeremy Bolotti in an interview shared on YouTube where the rap icon talked about a new song titled Love is Love, which it features the new episode of Snoop Dogg animation series Doggyland on YouTube. It's teaching parents, it's teaching situations that kids in the world is going through right now in a beautiful way. Through song, dance, melody, just trying to get more clarity on how we live in the world we live in, Snoop said. And I felt like this music is a beautiful bridge to bring understanding, he added. This is a program we've been doing for years. We're involved with kids. These are things that kids have questions about. So now, hopefully, we can help answer the questions and help them to live a happy life and understand that love is love. Boy, that's a change of heart, Snoop, man. What's going on? What the hell did they get to you? Did they bend you over? Did they make you put on a dress? Come on, Snoop, man. This is weird. Look, man, look at the comments. I was here, man. I was in the comment section. I was like, what's going on, Snoop? Did they get to you, man? So let's see the comment section saying like, here's a comment. Snoop Doggy Land. I already read that. For the love of money. Snoop's been flopping sides his whole career. Snoop stand on quicksand. Tupac tried to warn us. This is why my kids watch the cartoons I grew up on. They definitely treated that. I just got it proof. They definitely threatened him. Oh my god. Soon he'll be in a blood way. He switched up. I don't know what that means. Oh, Snoop sold out again. He one of them, but y'all don't hear it. Remember when he made fun of anyone who would have the audacity to perform for Donald Trump? Then Snoop went and performed for Donald Trump. This is basically the same thing. Snoop was a legend back in the day, but he's willing to do anything for money now. Snoop being a sellout, come on now. Just because he doesn't want to spend his money doesn't mean he can't make money. Yep, they got their hands on Snoop, got their hands on them. People been saying this for years, sending this out for years. Stop liking Snoop since he left No Limit. Boy, man, they're really on Snoop's tail, man. Someone said, sell out. Just to make a little LGB happy. Unc sold out. Tupac was right about Snoop. He's sold out. His masters are petting him like a good little dog. Bro, damn, Snoop, man, what's going on? What's going on, Snoop, man? One time you saying you sold out. But this is in contrast to 50 Cent. Rapper and entrepreneur 50 Cent has ignited a heated debate about publicly stating that children should be raised in the traditional way, free from LGBTQ plus themes in cartoons and children's programming. His comments, which quickly became viral, drew both praise and those who support preserving conventional family values, and backlash from critics who argue that the representation of media fosters inclusivity and acceptance. The controversially highlighted the ongoing cultural divide over parenting, media influence, and the shaping of children's worldviews in an era where entertainment often reflects broader social debate. Oh, this is I'm believing I'm with 50 Cent. I'm with 50 Cent. I'm 100% with 50 Cent. Yeah. The why I'm with 50 Cent? Because I grew up, and the cartoons that I grew up with, they didn't really have all this LGBTQ stuff thrown in. It was just a cartoon. You didn't ask too many questions. There wasn't anything in there, and I feel like you don't know who you are when you're young. You don't need them to start inceptionalizing thoughts into your head, but like this is right, this is wrong, or just that LGBTQ thing. You're a kid. You don't need to know whether you're gay or straight. You're just a kid. You just should be living your life, having fun. You shouldn't be knocked over the head with things where you're wondering if you're gay at 6 years old. You shouldn't be worrying about things like that. Maybe when you're a teen and there's a cartoon for teenagers and they had that in there, I'll be happy with it. I'll be like, okay, that's cool. But as a very young kid, I don't think these things should be shoehorned into cartoons. No. And it does start to have them raise a lot of these questions at a young age, and it's going to be really difficult to answer as an adult. Could you start having to get involved into too much detail? You try to explain it without too much detail, but then you have to skip round certain things, and then none of it ever makes any sense. That's the most crazy thing. But yes, at least 50 Cent has stuck by his morals, and he hasn't sold out completely like Snoop Dogg. But I guess they got the Snoop, man. He's mainstream now, and he has to uphold those values. The masters are after him, and they're telling you, Snoop, if you don't bend over backwards for them, we're gonna cut your money. Anyway, like, subscribe, and I'm out.